I wonder what we're here to talk about today. Week 3 has come and gone. Stevie P, Vinny here. What are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about the Milan Bologna game. We're going to be talking about 40-year-old goal scorers. Some questionable refereeing because, hey, you got to leave it to Serie A. Maybe touch on, Steve, the big Manchester derby that happened over because, that's the best league in the world, that EPL derby, Steve, right? Well, and you know what? I know we have a lot to talk about. Let's get the show on the road, shall we, people? I know you've been waiting. Here we go. Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast, where we talk everything Milan, a marvelous Modric. Milan 6 punti in 3 games. Stevie P, Vinny T, faithfully here every Monday. Stevie P, how you been, man? We're good. Were you this weekend? How's the soccer CSRDP going? Are you still coaching? Are you taking out your jacket? That's what the people want to know.
Jacket is staying on, ladies and gentlemen. Soccer is fantastic. Milan is playing some solid defensive football. It can't be better than that, ladies and gentlemen. Sei punti! Sei punti!
You guys, this weekend I decided to do it's been a while, some pregame therapy with our Patreon members. But Stevie P, would it be coast? I know we're only playing once a week. I know. But, if Coast to Coast decides to do a little special, if I want to do a group therapy session, it's very important. There's some things that the people need to do. And what do they need to do, Stevie P?
Guys, you need to subscribe. It's important to the channel. Very important. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe. Put on that little ding-a-ling-a-ling of the bell. And guys, you'll be notified with anything that comes out from the Milan Weekly Podcast channel. Soon to be Milan Weekly Podcast Network, as per Fabio. We're looking in that direction, guys. It's going to be something fantastic, guys. And guys, super chats are still alive, guys. And we're not gonna announce anything tonight.
Okay, not tonight,
not tonight. But we're gonna keep you guys on the a little.
We're gonna give them 30 days. That's it. 30 days. That's the only exists we're giving them.
100%. 30 days you will have. For a super chat contest, guys. Super chat contest. That's going to be something typical of Milan Weekly Podcast. It's something that we usually do. We're not ones that are too serious. We like to poke fun at ourselves, but it's going to be something fun. So, guys, like, subscribe, and super chat.
Yes, definitely. And speaking of Patreon group therapies, a huge thank you to them. And here they are. On that note, Stevie P, Sunday comes along, 2:45 game, and we know we had a great weekend. We're going to go through the football slides and the Serie A recap, but I wanted to ask you about, a lot of people had some criticism about the starting lineup, what we were going to see. Having the Rabiot start, Ricci on the bench, seeing this kind of starting lineup, Fofana, I'm saying Fofana starting instead of Ricci. I know there's been the injuries, and we're going to talk about injuries as well, but did you have a problem with what Allegri decided to go with in this game?
Yeah, absolutely. I did not like the starting lineup. I did not like Ruben Loftus-Cheek getting the start kind of up top. I understood a bit what he wanted to do. I think he wanted to control the midfield and maybe shield a bit of our defensive back three. But Vinny, what I see with this is, I understand he's taking one game at a time, and he's fielding what I would hope is his best 11, week in and week out. I just saw a lot from Ricci from the past game before the international break. Someone who did not go out to play with the Nazionale, unfortunately. So I would have expected him to start at least. I'm a big Ricci fan. I liked him at Torino. I think he's a super workhorse, and I think he can take his game to the next level, especially at Milan. And I think this was a missed opportunity. Look, Loftus Cheek, was he bad? No, I
No,
don't think he
no.
was bad. But starting Rabiot and not putting Pulisic in. Rabiot went on international duty. Pulisic as well, if I'm not mistaken, back in the
Yeah, but they
American
were only
team.
friendlies, Pulisic, I believe. They weren't
Yeah.
like official games, just friendlies.
So I know that Rabiot is Allegri's poster child. Like, I think he's his godfather from birth. And I read something that Rabiot non esce mai dalla formazione di Allegri. I get it, but I think we're gonna need to be a little bit more intelligent in how we integrate these players. And Rabiot coming in, not really having a lot of practice time with the rest of the team. I thought it was a huge risk, huge risk.
You know, before I get into the game, Steve, looking at the way Rabiot started, the way we spent money, I know Jashari's hurt, but the way we spent money on the midfield, do you think, and even not replacing any really quality center backs, do you think this 3-5-2, this 3-5-1-1 is the where we're going to go?
No, this is what he's dealing with. What he has now. There will not be a 3-5-1-1 formation once you get Leao back, and once you integrate the other players that we've purchased. I think he's being smart about it, Allegri, and I like it in terms of, like, let me play what my strengths are right now with the players that I have available to me this week. And I think for him, this was what he wanted to feel, to make sure that he can secure the midfield, clog up Bologna, not make them too dangerous on counters, and kind of meet Bologna at the 3-quarter mark, half field. We didn't do a lot of pressing. You see that this is going to completely change once you have Leao, once you have Pulisic, the new striker as well, Ningoku, Ningoku, Ningoku. Did I pronounce that correct?
The way you want to pronounce this, TVP, just like how do you pronounce this, Stupinan?
Estupanente.
Okay, so I felt this game. I keep on saying that, and I'm going to stick to my guns on this one. I just feel that even since the beginning of the season, I don't feel we look lost. And in this game, Steve, for Safo wasn't great. Throughout the game, I just felt we didn't look lost. And I am so convinced, referee decisions aside, Steve, this game last year would have lost. And I'm looking at stats. Bologna would more possession, and it just okay. We have 4 posts. We don't win games on goal posts. We don't win games on how the referee treats us, and we're gonna get into that. But did you feel anything different from this game? We know it was gonna be a tough game. I know Bologna hasn't won in San Siro since 2015, 2016. Steve, with a Giaccarini 82nd minute goal I saw during the Patreon group therapy. But what did you feel anything different from this Milan that we saw a bit struggling at the beginning? Any differences from this one to last year?
Well, Bologna in itself is the difference, right? So this is not the same team that Bologna had last year. I think that they they took a step back. I don't think they're as dangerous, as clinical I think they will suffer a bit this year, and we've seen them with the first couple of games of the season. But to be honest, guys, Milan in itself, securing your defensive responsibilities, making sure that you're not letting in cheap goals. Yes, it did happen to us against Cremonese, and we ended up losing. This team will be as good as we are in the back and in the middle. Up front, we need to finish chances. It's really soccer 101 what's happening with Milan right now. And this is because you're playing once a week, you have time to prepare, and there should be no excuses. I think, 6 points after 3 games, if you would have told me that at the beginning of the year, maybe I would have been happy. I just didn't think we would lose 3 points to Cremonese. And that, for me, uh, puts a little damper on these first 3 games.
Adrian, thank you very much. Super chat to those who's in charge of VAR, Musa. We're going to get into the VAR. Steve, good news today, right? That Maignan, we knew it was subbed out because of again, your favorite muscle, il polpaccio. And we did not know about Pavlović, but even him, came out on sports media, said today, day by day, they will be evaluated day by day. So nothing seems to be major. Do you think? Sound like Terracciano was very, did he even make a save with Terracciano in the end? But do you think this would have been a bigger blow? And I don't know, like, it just seems like this injury bug seems to follow us. But so far, so good. It just looks like we're going to be day by day Maignan. It looks like Leao might be coming back they were saying, I don't know about Udinese, Steve. I don't know if we're just going to make it for Napoli. Because Napoli, we're definitely going to need him.
Yeah. So this is the problem, right? So we keep on saying day to day is great, but day to day for Leao, he missed the first 3 games of the season. So we can't afford to
good
have
point.
Maignan out for the next 3 games, especially the Napoli game. And I'm not overlooking Udine. I think Napoli's firepower, we will need Mike Maignan to make a couple of saves if we're going to get a result in that game. Pavlović, has he been great these first 3 games? No. I tip my hat. He's a workhorse. I think, if he gets better with his feet, he could be something dangerous. He could be something promising. But I think De Winter stepping in didn't look out of place, didn't look like someone who was completely lost, even playing the opposite wing that he usually plays. In a back three, from what I read, is usually likes to play the right. He was playing the left and left Tomori on his right. But the injury bug, Vinny, playing once a week,
we shouldn't have this injury bug, Steve.
Yeah, we shouldn't have the injury bug, but it's going to happen. I'm not saying that, we're immune from injury. The thing that worries me is that, I don't like this day-to-day stuff. And the polpaccio and the calf is always something that's a bit of one of those injuries, like a high ankle sprain. They kind of linger and can come back at any time. I just hope that I think they did the best thing, resting Leao and being precautious with that. I don't know if we have that same luxury, believe it or not, with Mike Maignan.
Anthony, thank you so very much. 49 super chat. Vinny was right. The jacket did come off. Yeah, it said 3 games and Fuji's and Funyuns. I think the counter is back on. One day without any jacket incident. Steve, let's speak about the guy there in our graphics, Luka Modrić. Look, I know, guys, he's 40 years old. I get it. He did not fucking play like a 40-year-old this time, Steve. And I don't know if you had the chance to look at the build-up play for the goal. And they're looking at from, the bird's eye view, and you just see he's just trotting. He's just trotting around in midfield. All of a sudden, this vision that this old man has, he just runs, puts himself in a position, gets the cross from your favorite sausage maker, scores it, and you could see the happiness in his face. I know we're playing once a week, but I know he's 40. What are your thoughts on Modric 3 games in? I know it's very, very small, but your thoughts?
Look, guys, I don't throw around the word world class very often.
That's
Luka
true.
Modric is world class. He's world class. Winning the Ballon d'Or when he did, and doing what he does with the ball, doing what he, perfecting his trade, starting at Tottenham. You never win any trophies at Tottenham. But when Real Madrid comes a calling, he went and he did not disappoint, and they fell in love with him. And I think Milan fans and myself, I always, admired his play. But now seeing him in the red and black and having the chance to see him and really paying attention game in and game out, he just sees the game differently than other people. And players like this, unfortunately, are slowly disappearing from the soccer that we love, because the football that we love, because it's becoming an athlete sport. And this guy's proving that even at 40, and people could say what they want, the English Premier League and all these English pundits, they could say, oh, EPL is the best league. I love the EPL. It's so nice. I watched EPL all weekend, Vinny. The football is shit. The real pundits say what it is. The football is shit. It's kick and chase. It's absolutely clueless. At a certain point in the Manchester City derby, it felt like head volleyball. They were just like, they look like Homer had that bird that would just click on his laptop. That's all they were doing. And you know what? I'm fed up with that. I'm fed up, and that's what's frustrating about it, is that if Serie A would just wake up in time, and understand that what you have in this country is the university of soccer. And the maestro, Mr. Modric, is at the university, and he's really a professor.
Imagine if the Juve Inter game was commercialized as much as the Manchester derby, but we'll get into that. Steve, how about, I know we did speak a bit about Rabiot before we get into Allegri and the refereeing. Nkunku, we didn't seem. Allegri said that he had 30 minutes in his legs, I believe, during the press conference. Your thoughts? I know it's hard. What was it, guys? 15 minutes. Frank GPT, by the way, it's not Facebook. Frank, he's gonna let us know exactly how many seconds he played. But did you like what you saw? I'm gonna tell you, I liked I got right back up from that foul and went back at it. Your thoughts on Nkunku?
I think he's super fast, super dynamic. Again, he's another guy that we need to make sure that he stays healthy. And if he's healthy, combined with Modric, Rabiot, whatever we want to put in that midfield, I think it's going to be a dangerous partnership. And I'd like to see Jimenez and Nkunku play together and build off each other. Maybe have Jimenez start really understanding what type of striker he has to be, and be able to, play off Jimenez and use Nkunku's speed, and then inserting Leao in there too. Allegri's gonna have to make some decisions, Vinny. And
Yeah.
Nkunku, with the time that he played in this game, did not look out of place. And again, I think he should have had a penalty shot there. We'll talk about that after, but besides that, I think he was very dynamic and very uplifting.
Steve, how many games does Jimenez have? I'm on one side where it's like I like Allegri giving him, the clapping, the crowd getting up. They could see the effort. He was tracking back and forth. But do you think the patience will wear thin at some point? What are your thoughts on Jimenez? Do you find he had a good game this past weekend, and in the end, Leao's going to come back if Nkunku starts playing well? How many games? But it just seems from what we've seen, Allegri likes what he sees, and he was the first one, like I was saying, give him a round of applause And even today, I saw on Twitter, like, the only important thing is to win Forza Milan. Your thoughts on Jimenez and this whole situation?
Again, you see the formation, and right away you see it's not an attacking formation, and you see that Jimenez is gonna have maybe a handful of chances to in the evening, right? So those chances he's gonna have to start putting them away, and he's gonna have to start getting on the goal sheet. How many games does he have? I think once we reintroduce Leao into the team, and once we find a way to get Jimenez in some more attacking positions and some really, really quality chances, that's going to be the breaking point for Jimenez. That's going to be, are we going to be that much patient with him? Or are we going to find, a calamity of striking partners other than Jimenez to make sure that we can collect 3 points week in and week out. I can't
You
tell
still
you how
believe in
much time
him?
he has. I still believe in him. I think he's a big boy. I think he has to understand. Someone needs to show him Luca Toni, because he reminds me so much of Luca Toni. Luca Toni was one of those strikers that he would not be able to create for himself unless he would be in the box. But in the box, he was so dangerous and would
He
turn on a
was
dime
fuck.
and fire the ball, bottom right hand corner, bottom left hand corner, find a way to score a goal, toe poke. You know, we're not, we didn't sign Jimenez and think we were getting the next coming of Pippo Inzaghi. He's not
No,
that type of striker. But he's a big boy. He needs to hold the ball. He needs to improve on his first touch. It's goddamn awful. I agree. Right here, this comment, we're really aligned. His first touch is terrible. And it's terrible with his feet. It's terrible with his chest. It's terrible with every part of his body. Even his pee-pee. It's a terrible first touch if he tries to control it with his pee-pee. But we need him to. We've made an investment in this guy, Vinny, and
yeah,
it's very
I'm not
important
ready to give up.
that.
Yeah.
No, I can't. This is not a Piantek style thing, but it could become a Piantek style signing, which we can't afford anymore.
Oh my god. All right. So in the end, Steve, we got the 3 points. Allegri did, I think Allegri knows exactly what he's doing with his theatrics. Steve, I think I could speak for the both of us. We were never, very few times in the last 10 plus years we've done this, where we blamed referees for our losses, right? We played like shit. We played like shit. If we had to criticize referees, we criticized referees. I don't understand, and I'm a kind of person, Steve. Help me understand. In what kind of league, a professional league, that if I have to believe what I see, what I read, is that a penalty is given, the VAR calls him back and shows just one of the clips, but it was from the second foul, not the first one. Like, help me understand, Steve, because I don't get this, and that's why he lost his mind and he threw his jacket out.
So I kind of want to reference the manager of a baseball team getting thrown out. It's a show, right?
Yeah.
It's a demonstration of not being content with a certain call, ball or strike, out, no out, whatever it happens in baseball, but it's happening. Like you knew it was gonna happen. You see, for those who watch baseball more frequently than I do, you can feel it. You can feel that it's gonna happen, and umpires are like, they're faster than Usain Bolt at throwing you out of the game. They throw out everybody. Allegri did it in a way. I'm not gonna say that I didn't like it. I think it even should have been more. I think it
What
even
was
should
it?
have been more, and it should have been directed to the ref on the field, and to the people of the VAR and to everybody, not just the fourth official, because he obviously says something to the fourth official
And
that
he's like,
gets
you
him
ratted
thrown
me
out.
out. Yeah.
Exactly. You ratted me out. You know, he got the attention of of the uh, the actual match official and told him, "Oh, this man made fun of me. He made fun of me. Throw him out." And the match official, because they have absolutely no brain and cannot manage a game, cannot understand that this man would be unhappy at this call. So because of that, and because Italians are so proud and we don't know how to do anything properly, he gets thrown out of the game. But I think it had to be more. It had to be more than that. It had to become not enough to get a 3-game suspension, but it had to be more. And for the actual call, guys, I don't get what's going on here. And I saw something fantastic with Carlo Ancelotti. I don't know. I cannot place when this actually happened. It was something that
Okay.
I saw on social media, and he was talking with the Italian ref committee, with whatever. I don't know if it was a conference that was going on, and he was saying, "I want to lose a game on a call that is made by a ref who made a mistake, so that ref can learn. I don't want to lose a game on a call that's made from a ref and then looked at by a person who is not a ref or not a ref in that game and is sitting in a booth and saying, hey, you might have made a mistake. I'm looking at it this way. I think it's a penalty shot." Or what happened in this game is someone in the VAR told the ref, "I don't think it's a penalty shot." The ref called the penalty shot. If I'm not mistaken, you called the penalty shot?
They reversed. He made him reverse his decision, but
Yes,
supposedly,
but
from
that's
what we
it.
read, he showed him the second incident instead of the first one.
That should
Guys,
never happen. That should never happen. It should be a call gets reversed. The ref called the penalty. The ref has to have undeniable evidence that he made the wrong call. And this
oh,
is
by the
not
way,
what
Steve,
happened.
they're getting 2-game suspension. They're not gonna ref for two games. That's the penalty that they're getting.
It's just sad. It's just sad, Vinny. Serie A doesn't have any answers to this. I think, watching a lot of Premier League in between the Serie A that I watch, I think the English have it better. Again, maybe some people who follow it more than I do would say no, but watching the way they do it, I think it's faster. I think it's more clear. I think the ref only goes when he really needs to go. Have a look at the television, and I'm not 100% sure.
You know what we needed, Steve? We needed the ref cam. That's what we needed. The ref cam. But it's only for the big games. Ramiz, thank you so very much. 699 super chat. Why the yellow jersey at home? I just can't understand it. Can we experiment away? Stevie P. Marketing, is it not? The yellow
Money.
jersey. Money, money, money. Thank
Money,
you,
money.
to Ramiz, and a second super chat, Adrian. Thank you. He's got it in for Musa. In the end, Steve, even if I take it, if I'm asking from Patreon, Timmy, should Jimenez start the next game? The incident that went to VAR was not a foul twice. Yeah, some pundits, Steve, they're saying that there was 3 o 4 rigore mancato per il Milan, but Jimenez, should he start the next game?
Yes, you have no choice. Unless you have other options, and that other option is Leao, and you've made a decision that he's not going to be playing a winger and he's going to play a striker. I think Jimenez needs to start. Jimenez needs to get something. He needs to get any type of goal. A cross that comes in from Salchicha Maker or Estupanente, hits the back of his ass and goes in, it is good enough, guys. The guy
He got a
just needs
post.
to. He got a post, but a post is not a goal. And I thought, from what I saw, and I didn't see the goal, I think he even scored with the Mexican national team, and I thought that maybe that
What a
was
goal.
going to
Yeah.
that was going to transfer itself to the Milan game against Bologna. But again, guys, the chances are starting to come. The work is working, but it's a combination of a couple of things. The formation does not help. He's up there alone. Don't tell me that Ruben Loftus-Cheek is a striker. He's not. He's a midfielder, and a striker either needs to play with a partner or needs to be that focal point. And I think we just need to provide him with some sort of service where he can get some sort of goal that would just change this string of bad luck that he's having. And again, some of it's bad luck, and some, like we said in the chat, guys, he needs to work on his end because the touches are not there.
Let's close it off with your top and flop, like our friends at Milan Post. Excuse me. Top and flop. I think the top one. Honestly, Modric is the easiest thing. I'm gonna have to go with that for top. And flop, Steve. I don't know. For a flop, I would have to say Fofana, Steve. He keeps on getting the starts, but I don't know. He just hasn't. As soon as Ricci came on, and maybe flop is a harsh word for Fofana's performance, but that's what I'm going to go with. I don't know. Do you agree, disagree?
I did not like Estupiñán again. I think he is missing soccer IQ. I did not like Pavlović in this game. I thought that he looked like he was overthinking things, and the back three and that long ball over the easy pass is just something that he cannot hit, and top guys, I spent the Scudetto year making fun of this guy, and I feel like I owe him an apology. I think he went away from Milan at a great time for him. He went to Bologna, then went to Roma, and I think he came back a new person. We don't see those stupid brain cramps. I think he's doing things, keeping things quite simple and quite effective. And, I like him on the right. Guys, salad maker, salchicha maker, guys. I tip my hat, guys. Work, energy, effort, and, grinta. Like, he's pissed.
Grinta.
He's pissed.
He's not just running around like a Estupiñán. Yeah.
No.
And
Estupiñán needs to take a little bit of a course on the salchicha making improvement center, rehab, or wherever he went, and we could get someone on the left-hand side.
All right, guys. I know we have lots of scores to go through on this one. Let's take it over to the recap of this week 3. This segment is brought to you by FuboTV, your home for all things Serie A and EPL here in Canada. Se potete, ma anche ascoltare in italiano. Stevie P, there was, may I say, lots of. But remember, Steve, it is a very defensive league and we're very boring. We're very, very boring in Serie A. Cagliari winning at home 2-0, taking home the 3 points against Parma. Let's get straight into it, Steve. By the way, please don't laugh at me if I make you a little joke in your ear. And, I know we're brothers, me and you, but we're in front of the cameras. But can this have been written any better? I know last time we were joking around 4-4. I think it was the last one or second last one. What a great game. What just a great game, right? And I know it's only 3 games in. Steve, if Milan was at 3 points after 3 games, I wouldn't be stressing. I don't think Inter should be stressing, other than, did you have a good time watching all the interviews online that Marcos Thuram, 40, you're laughing, and supposedly, what's it saying that his brother was saying, like, just admit that you had that foul over there on that goal, and he was laughing. But what an entertaining game, and a great result, and a great game for Serie A.
This is a fantastic game for Serie A. It was back and forth. There was emotion. I don't think I don't think either team would have been disappointed with a draw. Juve did come out victorious, and again, I think they deserved it at home. Uh, but guys, this is what Serie A is all about. Was it the most beautiful, technically sound game? No. But sometimes a league like Serie A needs a beautiful game like this. I think, did Inter play bad? They had some moments. I think they had some brain farts. The Bastoni foul
Defense,
at the
Steve, huh?
end.
Their
Yeah,
defensive looked like a
yeah.
lot of brain craps on that one. And Juve just
And
capitalized on their chances.
guys, there's defensive guys, and Sommer had probably his worst game in an Inter jersey. I think there was shots there that should have been stopped. I listen to pundits on American TV. Guys, Bastoni is the best defender that Serie A has. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a Milanista and I'm able to admit it. He's the best defender that Serie A has in both playing the ball out of the back, understanding what's happening in his third, the middle of the pitch, and the final third. Okay. I know the Juventini now, they're going to come and they're going to send all kinds of messages. This guy doesn't know. Bremer's the best one. Bremer, defensively, super sound. But Bremer can't play a 4-foot pass. I'm going to say it. Guys, Bastoni is Italy's best defender. Whether they want to admit it or not, you can say the own goal against Israel. You can say the stupid foul here. Guys, Bastoni is Italy's best defender today, right now. Okay? Can great defenders have off games? Absolutely.
But they had the chance to win, Steve. They had
They
the
did.
chance to
They
win.
did.
That's what's crazy. That's what's really crazy. But in the end, if you're in Teresa, Steve, are you stressing?
I am, and it's
Yeah.
not because of the. It is. It's not because of the. It's not because of the body language. I just think that there's something that's not clicking in this team anymore. I think the brotherhood seems to be lost.
Okay.
I think the older players are looking older, and it's funny to say something doesn't feel right without Inzaghi there. And they decided to go with Kivu. They
Non si
decided
mangia
to say,
panettone, Steve.
I
I don't
don't
think so.
I don't know if he's gonna last. I know I listen a lot to Nima, and Nima is one of those straight down the pipe Interist, and he said it from the beginning. Actually, he was not convinced about the signing and didn't think he would make it to Christmas. I didn't believe him when he said it. I'm starting to believe him now. Again, I feel it's the brotherhood. I feel it's the Lautaro Chanalobulu mix up at the Club World Cup. That didn't help. There's a couple of telenovelas in Inter that just don't make me feel great.
We shall see, guys. It is, again, week 3. Steve, Fiorentina, Napoli. I know Fiorentina wasn't very good in this one, but is Napoli that good? 3 games in? 2-0. What was
I
it,
think-
guys? 15 minutes in? It was 2-0?
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
I think Napoli is that good in terms of the way they work. I think they know how to start a game at 100 miles an hour, and I don't think a lot of teams are ready for that 100-mile-an-hour pace. I think that they will not be able to keep up this pace for the rest of the year, especially playing 3 times a week. It, you know, they did themselves a favor. They had a good mercato. Holgen,
Champions League this week. We shall see.
yeah, Champions League this week, and I think it's Manchester City this week. So let's see. Let's see Napoli on the marathon of the Scudetto race. I'm curious to see, but right now, 3 games in, they're 100 miles a minute, and they choke you down, and they do not let you get back up.
Roma Gasperini's first halt here, 1-0 Torino. Steve, they deserve to win on this one. Not a very exciting game, but
Dybala si è fatto male ancora.
no, for real, he got hurt.
Lesione. Yes, hurt again.
And we're going to take a look at the other result because it is the Roma Derby next week, right? Atalanta getting 4 past Lecce, winning at home comfortably. Very needed win for Atalanta because they haven't looked good in the first 2 games. Udinese taking home the 3 points away at Pisa. And then we get to, Steve, Sassuolo beating Lazio 1-0. Both Roma teams losing 1-0. The Roma Derby next week. Dybala's out. Lazio, I don't know, Steve. I thought that maybe with Sarri coming back, I know it's 3 games, I get it, but what do you take away from Lazio's performances so far?
Lazio is, when Milan fans complain about our ownership, I turn to Lazio fans for some reassurance. Unfortunately, Lotito doesn't do Lazio any favors. I think for as bad as Milan fans think Jerry Cardinale is, Lotito is just as bad, if not worse, for Lazio. This team has gone ups and downs, sold, and this year they thought that they did not need to purchase, and obviously they needed. I think the Sassuolo team that beat this Lazio is not a good team, and Lazio need to figure it out. And I think that Sarri, if not Kivu, maybe Sarri non si mangi il panettone.
That's a bold prediction. We never know. Verona Cremonese, Vardy making his Steve very anticipated debut in Serie A to a 0-0 tie. I know Ralib was looking at Cremonese as the top contender in Serie A after 3 weeks, but nothing to write home about today's results. Como. Paz looks like what a great goal, but in the end, great goal or not, finishes the game 1-1, Genoa in extra time. Do you see any differences from Como last year, the excitement and the results that we're getting? And now it's like, okay, it's been 3 games, it is what it is, but do you think Como is going to be like a Monza kind of thing where, first 2 years in Serie A, they were, hey, good for them, and it's, it's a good kind of a good story, but
no,
I don't know,
Como is
Steve.
not the same as Monza. Not the same as Monza. Monza had to sell. Como doesn't have to sell.
No, I meant it more in a way that, the way they came out and they were competitive in the first 2 years. And then
They will as long as Cesc Fabregas is part of that project, I think they will be competitive.
all right. So on that note, Stevie P, a great third week of Serie A, and we are already a couple of days away from week 4. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been your FuboTV segment, a recap of the week. Speaking of week 3, we got Udinese this Saturday. Then we go to Coppa Italia against Lecce. And then Napoli on the Sunday. Steve, I don't think did we get the official? Is it 1 game for Allegri or, you guys let us know maybe in the chat if you guys have any idea. I don't know if it's 1 game, 2 games. I don't know if for his previous jacket incidents, but these are crucial upcoming games. Udinese, Lecce, Napoli, and then Juventus after that. I know there's an international break, but what are you expecting from Milan in the next couple of weeks?
I think Milan has an advantage just being able to play less games than all these other teams. Juve playing Dortmund tomorrow, Napoli playing Manchester City. We have a Coppa Italia match that we should be competitive in, and I think there should be some sort of turnover in. But I think these next couple of weeks, not forgetting Udinese, are very critical to Milan. And are we going to be in this race for the long haul, or are we just going to be the the bridesmaids to whoever wins and is the bride of this Scudetto season. We need Milan to be, form and decide what Allegri wants to do moving forward, healthy and ready to face these top teams that right now sit atop of the league.
We said that we were going to start judging and looking at the tables when it was going to be 10 games in. We shall see. Steve, if Pavlović is not starting next one, who do you go with? Do you go with De Winter? He didn't look too bad in the first game.
We're going with the winter. The fall is coming, and we're going with the winter. Yes, I think Allegri knows him from his time at Juve. He's the obvious to slot in there. I don't know if he goes to the right and Tomori to the left. Right now, I have no problem with Tomori. I think, besides the stupid yellow card he got yesterday for karate chopping someone or drop kicking someone with his with a very high challenge that myself I did not understand whether he knew what he was doing or not. But for me, the winter slots in. I think he needs to find a way to let Fofana understand that he needs to sit, and let's start Ricci. And once Leao is back in action, I want to see this Milan against the top competition. I want to see how dangerous we can be on the counter, and that will be the tail of the tape.
Because I like when you rant, Steve. Give me your thoughts on, because we had spoke about let's maybe look at the big games of the week, during these weekends. Because we're Vince, you want to do the group therapy session. It's the Manchester Derby at that time. I don't know if guys are gonna come on. When was the last time you watched a Manchester Derby that was entertaining?
Last year. Last year's was entertaining.
Last year? Was that
Manchester won in the last second. I think an 18-year-old kid scored, and he was the next coming of David Beckham, and then we never saw him again. But jokes aside, guys, look, the game in itself was not the best game. I watched it. I'm not gonna lie, I watched it. I think Donnarumma was fantastic. Didn't have to play a lot of balls with his feet, but made a fantastic save at 1-0, guys. I think they're happy to have him. I think that's what he's paid the big money for. Myself, from the years, very critical on Donnarumma and him and playing the ball at his feet. I think he's making a name for himself that he is truly that. He is a shot stopper. So if Pep Guardiola doesn't understand, well, Steve Polillo is telling you. If he's not good with his feet, I'm pretty sure you have 10 other players that are fantastic with ball at foot. Let's skip Donnarumma. Save yourself the heart attack. Save yourself the stress. And play Manchester City football, because the rest of the time, they really dismantled Manchester United. Manchester United had no answer for Haaland, had no answer for Phil Foden, had no answer for Bernardo Silva, and absolutely had no answer for Beetlejuice himself. Beetlejuice destroyed Manchester United's left-hand side. Njoku.
In who?
Doku.
Guys, whenever you need to know how to pronounce names correctly around the soccer world, please tune in to the MWP podcast. And you gotta hit that like and subscribe and the notification bell. Some people do Duolingo, some people do Google Translate, your AI. No. You come here to MWP. Stevie P is going to lead you in the right way. Just the way our new striker, Steve. What's his name? Milan striker. Nkunku. I'm going to take Steve's words. These coming weeks are going to be very crucial for Milan. Let's weather the storm, right? Let's see where we go from here. Big games with Udinese, Lecce, and then Napoli. and Juve. International break, obviously. Stevie P, close us off, man, and let's take this home.
Yeah, I'm gonna close off with all the Interisti bashing the Turan brothers. Can we just take a step back and understand the situation that they had? They had their father in the stands, a Juventino, for the longest time, Lilian Thuram, who
He was
had the
happy to.
pleasure. He had the pleasure, guys, of yes, one son plays with his Juve, one son plays for his Inter. And he had the pleasure, and as a father who watches his son and coaches his son, it's stressful at a very young age. Could you imagine in the Derby d'Italia, he had this pleasure of not a lot of people will be able to say that they were able to watch their two kids play against each other in a Derby d'Italia, Juventus and Inter. Have both their sons score, have a fantastic match, and then be the headline for all the wrong reasons. If
Supposedly,
I'm an Interista, yes. If I'm an
there was a
Interista,
foul.
am I
Yeah.
mad? Am I mad, Vinny? Am I mad that he's laughing? Yes. But I also need to take a step back and I need to say he's laughing with his brother. If he's laughing and he's talking to, I don't know, Bastoni, but he's talking
Supposedly he
to Barella,
told
he's talking
him-
to someone else.
He told him, like, why don't you come out and said you did that foul, right? That's supposedly what he had said. And it's like,
He could have also told them, what did mommy make for supper tonight? At that point. They are both brothers, guys. I understand the hatred on the field, but at a certain point, you have to understand what it is, and they are brothers. Even after they can take out the shirts, they're gonna, and again, should he have done it maybe outside but they're brothers, guys. They're brothers, and they played on a pitch together in one of the most high-profile games in Italy. The high-profile game. The love of Italy, Juventus. And the evil empire, the fucking Garden Snakes. It's Italy's fucking Romeo and Juliet all over again. Let's take a step back and understand what's happening. And, the pundits, say what you have to say to get your clicks. But in the end, the Thuram family wins in the end.
it's fine to be mad, but let it go after, like, it's been 2 days there. Let it go. Shout out to Adrien, to Anthony, to Hermes. Thank you so very much for the super chats. Stay tuned to maybe whatever we're planning. Guys, thank you so very much for joining us once again. Thank you to your live viewers sticking with us at this time. And even once again to our Patreon members, we appreciate your support from day one. And on that note, Stevie P, ovunque e sempre, Forza Milan.
Forza Milan!
Ciao, guys.